You know damn well they're going to raise the prices.
Ocean water. Ocean water.
Breasts.
Hey, console prices are increasing, and you know what? It's definitely not because of the tariffs. Not at all. You could also buy your kid $2 instead of $30.
It's China to me. China!
So if you remember, recently Microsoft just announced that they are increasing the crap out of the price of their Xbox hardware and accessories. Two examples I always give of that is the Xbox Series S. The 1 terabyte model is going to be $430. And if you get the 2 terabyte Xbox Series X Galaxy Edition, it's going up to $730, which for now is more expensive than a PS5 Pro, even though that Series X has no more capabilities minus more storage and looking prettier than the base Xbox Series X you could buy in 2020. But if you think it's going to stop with Microsoft hardware, I just spit on my lip. It's not. It's not. There's no other official announcements yet, but there are industry insiders that are almost positive that this is going to happen with the competitors of Microsoft as well. Now, David Gibson, who is the senior financial analyst over at MST Financial, he covers the gaming industry as well. He got some bad news for you. He's almost 100% positive. Hopefully he's wrong. And hopefully this news story ends up being inaccurate, that PlayStation hardware is going to go up a crap ton as well. This is what he had to say on Twitter. Xbox X hardware price increase of about $100 probably means Microsoft wearing some of the tariff costs. It means they're eating some of the tariff costs still with the price increases. Let that sink in. China tariff is 145%, but probably assumes it normalizes to 40% or so. Will Sony do the same and take a profit hit? Unlikely. PS5 price increase likely $200+ in the US in May this month. So keep in mind what this means. Think about it real hard. You want a PS5 Pro? No, but let's just say you did. It's going to be about $1,000, $900 before tax, add in tax. You're going to be about $1,000 more around that point. $1,000 for an updated version of a soon-to-be 5-year-old console. If it happens, maybe Sony will bite the bullet and just keep the prices the same to have a competitive edge. But was the Xbox ever a competitor? This is insane, man. This hobby, hopefully it doesn't happen, and Microsoft is the one who just caves to the tariffs and brings up the prices. But Microsoft has more money in the bank to ride this tariff wave than Sony does. I can't see any way that Sony doesn't end up raising the prices. So again, here we are with our favorite hobby becoming less affordable across the board. And if you think this is going to stop here after PlayStation raises their prices, possibly, buckle up. It's going to get worse. And from what I'm hearing, they want to tariff movies that aren't being made in the States.
China!
But at least you'll be able to play Gears of War 1 or Gears of War Reloaded, a remastered version on your PlayStation 5. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding at all. This comes from Gematsu. I'll read it to you, then we'll discuss. Publisher Xbox Game Studios and developers The Coalition, Sumo Digital, and Disbelief have announced Gears of War Reloaded for the PS5, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC. It will launch on August 26th for $39 with cross-play and cross-progression across all platforms. It will also be available via Game Pass. Users who own Gears of War Ultimate Edition will also receive a free upgrade to Gears of War Reloaded. The game is also going to include 4K resolution, 60 frames per second in campaign, 120 FPS in multiplayer, HDR, Dolby Vision, and 7.1.4 Dolby Atmos, 7.1.4 3D spatial audio, variable refresh rate, 4K assets and remastered textures, I would hope so, enhanced post-processing visual effects, improved shadows and reflections, super resolution with improved anti-aliasing, 0 load screens during the campaign. And you could play what was a must-have exclusive for Xbox, especially during the 360 days. You can now play it on their competitor's console. I get what you're trying to do, Microsoft, but this is insane. Just get out of the hardware race. The gaming industry, in my opinion, has lost its way. You could say that exclusives are bad, and there's people who have made arguments, some of them valid, about exclusives not being good, but what is the incentive to buy a piece of hardware? What is the incentive to buy a Switch if you could get Super Mario exclusives or Nintendo's exclusives anywhere? What's the incentive to buy a PlayStation 5 if you could get their exclusives everywhere? Not that Sony's releasing their games on Xbox Series consoles anytime soon, but you get my point. And look at Microsoft. What is the point to invest in your hardware, or as some may argue, even Game Pass, if you could get your games anywhere? If you could literally have a PlayStation 5 and get Gears of War, what the hell are you making hardware for? What the hell are you making next-gen systems for, Microsoft? It makes no sense. And the thing, and I know there are arguments like, oh, Game Pass, games as a service, Game Pass. What happens if maybe people just want to play Gears of War? And maybe they would have been a person who purchased an Xbox if they just wanted to play Gears of War, if they could only play it on your hardware, which in turn would get them into the Xbox ecosystem, where maybe they would purchase more games and products later on. Now they're not going to purchase your hardware. That is why you're in distant third place with 32 million and change consoles sold for this entire generation. You can't, well, Xbox Game Pass is such value. But there's a lot of people who only want to play a couple games a year, where Xbox Game Pass or PC Game Pass is not a good value to them. It would be cheaper for them just to buy a game or two, especially if they're playing on PC and Steam has a sale. Whereas in the past, if people could only get Gears of War Reloaded on Xbox hardware, they would buy your systems, which in turn would turn you around a profit, because now those people who own that system, who maybe just bought it for Gears of War Reloaded, would be like, now that I have this system, though, instead of just having it collect dust, I'll get this game, I'll download and buy this game, I'll download and buy this game. Now they're not going to do that. So I understand the gaming industry is going to be service-based. It's already starting to slowly happen as we see it. But I don't know. I feel like I understand that AAA games cost a lot to make, and Sony and Microsoft at least are trying to find ways to recoup it by having their exclusives be multi-plat. Sony is, again, just bringing it to PC, not Xbox consoles. But I feel like the industry has lost its way. And now we're hearing about these price increases on top of it too. Microsoft already did it. And you have industry analysts saying that it's almost guaranteed that Sony's going to be doing it as well. And then on top of it, you could get the games anywhere. So it's like, why am I going to buy these overpriced, outdated consoles? Where the hell are we going to be with the 10th generation, man? I don't know. Like I said in my previous video, we could be headed towards a crash, and things like this just kind of solidify that opinion that I had. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but it's just not looking good right now. What the hell is the point of owning a 9th gen consoles when you could play the damn games anywhere? This is Rich of Rich Tomorrow, signing out. Have a good one. Hey, if you watched the whole video, what the hell are you doing? You're not subbed yet? Click that sub button. I live stream here all the time. We have a good time. Make sure to become a subscriber. It's free. Click the button now and hit that bell too. Be a man.